Now that my house is as tall as I want with my coils, I'm gonna double check to make sure the inside is fully smooth, and I'm actually going to use that popsicle stick to kind of create a vertical rough texture going up like tree bark. Later, I'm going to carve in more details to add more definition, but I'm gonna leave this kind of rough texture to start, as it's gonna help me create a more bark-like texture later. Now that my bottom half is formed, I'm going to start working on the roof of my gnome home. So I said I was going to make this with a pinch pot method. So I have a ball of clay here, and it's actually not too big, maybe the size of my medium pinch pot. And I'm going to start by pressing my thumb into the center and slowly turning, using all my fingers to support, and stretching that pinch pot. So I'm looking to make a mushroom shaped roof to go on top of my kind of tree trunk house. So I'm going to make sure that my goal is to have the same thickness for my pinch pot as my coil wall here. So I'm going to spend time kind of stretching, keeping more of a kind of cone shape this time so it looks more like a mushroom. And I'm going to slowly stretch, opening this pinch pot and focusing on making it kind of tall. So I'll continue to do that until I have the size and the shape I'm looking for. I should continuously check to see how close am I to my goal as I work on this pinch pot. Once my pinch pot is the size and shape that I'm looking for my roof, I'm going to spend some time cleaning up the edges, making sure that I don't have any cracks along the lip, and I'm gonna prepare it to attach and then later add some details. So I'm gonna take this time to really make sure that it's nice and smooth all the way around, and that these edges have no cracks or breaks inside of them before I move on. Now that I have the body of my house that I coiled to make the trunk of the tree, and my pinch pot that I made as the mushroom top roof, I'm ready to attach before I add details. Now, before I attach, I want to actually cut out the inside bottom so that later, if I wanted, I can put a candle inside for my luminary to light up my gnome home. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my needle tool, and I'm just going to carefully cut out inside of the house. I'm gonna try not to get too close. I don't want to accidentally cut into my coil. So I can always trim more, but I'm just gonna start by cutting out an oval shape. This will also allow me to blend from the inside as well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pop that out. I can reuse that because it's still really soft. So now I could even just smooth out this opening just to make it wide enough that I would be able to fit a little light inside. So just smoothing that. It's still pretty soft, being careful not to smush my coils, but that will be ready. Now, to attach my roof, I need to slip and score this upper coil along with the inside lip, because you can see that my mushroom overlaps. So I'm gonna just score the very inside along the edges using my fork. So I'm going to score all the way across, and I will do the same for the top of my coil. So scoring really well. I want to make sure that this attaches and does not come off. So my coils they're still soft, but they're not squishy, which is perfect. So it's just a soft leather hard. So using my finger to wet that scored area and get it nice and soft, and then when I press my roof on, I kind of want to wiggle it. We want to agitate those scored areas. So I'll wiggle it a little bit back and forth, and it will sit on just right. So I can then flip, and I can carefully clean up these edges. I could use the inside of my apple stick to smooth. I could also use my paintbrush to smooth as well. Now I'm going to get started on making some details. So I'm going to work on creating additions for my gnome home. Things like the spots for my mushroom, the chimney, maybe a little sign for the door. I'm going to make those out of little slab pieces, and I will then attach them.